It's pretty easy to accept that end users really don't care how the user experience is rendered in their application. They just want that ideal user experience. So if you can render the equivalent UX without writing a bunch of code, then that's a good thing. And that's what's so powerful about TrellisSpark. Let's break it down. In the traditional approach to building a custom application to render the user experience, we have to write a lot of create, read, update, and delete code. This code, it includes all those UX forms, backend APIs, and stored procedures. This can easily amount to hundreds or thousands of objects, and each object could contain tens, hundreds, or thousands of lines of code. In fact, we conducted a recent survey and found that over 70% of developers are hand-coding the user experience. So if you're one of those developers, you're not alone. It's a very common approach. With TrellisSpark, all that custom CRUD code doesn't exist. It's not applicable because we've instead created a set of generic components that can handle any CRUD transactions and can dynamically generate the user experience in real time using only configuration data. The entire user experience is rendered in a single page application with configuration data alone. And all that configuration data can be entered by a non-technical user. So all that work that you would normally have to do for coding the UX, it can be redirected to help create custom workflow automation and other high-value stuff. And the turnaround time for new user experiences is so much faster. Instead of going through a full development lifecycle of coding, testing, validating, etc., you can instead often configure the desired user experience during a meeting. Another artifact of this approach is if you've written all this custom CRUD code, then the stack is far more vulnerable to breaking changes when attempting to upgrade or replace technology. But if the user experience is based on configuration data, then there is no dependency on code. Changing the technology stack doesn't require any rework to render the same user experience. So upgrades become super easy. Another big difference is how different devices are handled. You often need 2 or 3 separate project teams to build apps on different devices like web, iOS, and Android. This is where we've taken full advantage of the power of Blazor and Maui hybrid. In TrellisSpark, the same people can configure the user experience for any device. And this makes it so much easier to achieve consistency across any user interface. And as a developer, there are a few other things that you should know. You have access to the entire front-end UX, so you can develop custom controls, page layouts, and build any custom workflow. You have direct access to your data and the database, so you can exchange data with third-party machine learning services or other integrations. And by the way, the TrellisSpark database is a hybrid architecture of both relational and NoSQL. It can be horizontally scaled to any extreme. And you can deploy TrellisSpark either on-premise or in the cloud. It's completely in your control.